morning, everybody. This is Jim Feist in Las Vegas, and I am honored today to interview Steve Fezzik. Steve has been in Las Vegas, I don't know how many years. I've been here 55 years, but I know that Steve Fezzik came from an actuarial background, which means he knows a lot about numbers, more about numbers than any of us listening to this, and especially me. Steve is a great handicapper, but even a bigger winner. A lot of people bet on sports. Very few people win at betting on sports. And I know Steve does that very well. Steve, good morning.
Oh, it's so nice of you to have me on, Jim. And just a little background. So obviously, Jim Feist, a legend in Las Vegas. No one knows who I am. It's somewhere around the year 2001. I've just moved to Vegas. You probably don't remember, Jim, but I introduced myself. You didn't know who the heck I was. Nicest person in the world to me. And then about 6 years later, we ran into each other, World Series, like 2009.
Oh yeah,
and then we reacquainted, and you're like, rub some of that off on me, Steve, because I had that 2-year contest run that was, sometimes we run good, sometimes we don't run good, but it certainly ran great those 2 years.
Do you still play poker?
I still do. There's just not enough time. I was playing in the senior event, and my goodness, the dedication, God bless these poker players that can spend 10 hours, 3 days for just one tournament. I can't do it.
It's incredible the number of hours. I played in the main event, I think 15 times, but I played in a lot of other events. But the number of hours, it's just so mentally fatiguing. And I think the youth of the world has a big advantage when it comes to that.
So Helmuth didn't want to play in the main event this year, citing how grueling the schedule was. And I spoke with him and I said, you know what? Scotty Scheffler got arrested in Kentucky before he had to play in a major, and he played. So it's not an ideal schedule, but you know what? Get out there and play, and that's what Phil did.
That's right. And I don't know how he did, but I know that Michael Mizrachi won $10 million, and he's always been a great player. I think he's been a little bit lately I haven't read his name winning much, but he sure cashed in big this time.
No doubt. The one thing for those out there that were playing poker, and I like to simplify things for folks. And if you don't know how to win playing no limit poker, the number one tip I would give everyone, you can become a winning player rather quickly short stacked. If you always play with ideally 20 big blinds or less, but sometimes you have to buy in for 40, it is a much simpler game because it's similar to a chess opening. You can basically memorize the right plays. When you start playing deep stack with 150, 200 big blinds, we're going from algebra to nuclear physics here in terms of how to play. Yes.
Well, I'm not going to try to learn anything about nuclear physics. I want to talk about something that you have coming up on August 1st to August 3rd. And you're calling it the VegasBettingEvent.com. That's the website. And I have it up on my screen back here somewhere. But anyway, I'll bring it. But I want you to talk about this. So you're going to teach people not only how to bet, but how to win. And
exactly
that's right. A lot of people don't do that. They say, okay, this is how you bet, but how do you win? And I know you know how to do that.
Yeah. So, and the site is VegasBettingEvent.com. Don't go to a site with my name on it, Jim. That's someone pretending to be me or multiple people. So be sure to go to that specific site. And I do tweet it. My X is @Fezzik Sports. But the truth is that handicapping and betting are two different animals, and you really want to be good at both. And I'm going to pull back the curtain, reveal some secrets on how to get the best of it, including, but not limited to, things like, hey, you get a bonus. Everyone likes a bonus, right? So Sportsbook gives you a $500 bonus. It's actually a significant mistake to bet that on a game you really like, just against the spread. You really want to be using that, betting a big money line or a big parlay. It's the one time where, a big parlay makes sense because you don't get that win or lose. They take that bonus away. So ideally you'd like to put it on a roulette wheel, and have it pay 35-1, and it would be worth more than 90 cents on the dollar if you could do it that way.
Unbelievable. Okay. That's you have been on the Dom DeMarco show a couple of times, which is a great show here in Las Vegas. Albert Scalliott hosts that at Dom DeMarco's Pizza and Wine Bar on West Charleston. It's great. We start up again in September. You've been on a couple of times. We'd love to have you on again and again and again. What is the one thing? I mean, most people don't understand math. They don't understand when you say something like he's an advantage player. Now you're an advantage player. How would you explain that to someone?
Well, I think, the closing line value, the whole CLV discussion is excellent, where the prices that you're getting on games are better in general than the prices that you're going to see at close. And that doesn't mean you're going to win for certain, but if you get a big enough disparity, you're going to do very well. I used an example. I've been going through the NFL schedule, for instance, and I think it's a week 9 game, and Houston is plus 1.5 in a game that they're playing against Denver. And people say, Fez, and I bet it. And people say, Fez, so you like Houston against Denver? And I tell them, well, no, I like Houston plus 1.5 against Denver. If I think Houston should be a modest favorite. And so many of my bets, Jim, if I went back over my career and you took away half a point from every one of the bets that I had made over my entire career, instead of living on a golf course in Vegas, I'd be living in your garage, because I mean, that makes all the difference in the world, just getting the very best of the price.
Now you're looking forward. I mean, in the season, how do you know these things going forward? Do you just have numbers that you make your own lines, your own value system? I mean, and so many things can happen from now till that game is played, injuries, et cetera, et cetera. And now you're just looking at the advantage of it now and just saying, okay, things will break evenly, so I got to take advantage of it right now.
Yeah, and the truth is, it's a great question. Things aren't going to break even. Houston might be -4 and they might be +3 by the time that those teams play. But in terms of an unbiased estimate of what that line will be, I'm saying Houston -1 right now, this point in time, works well. I want to talk about consistency. Like in politics all the time, you see it's important to be consistent. You don't want to see a clip where someone says, oh, I supported this last year, but now I'm against it this year. And now, one tip I'm going to give sports bettors: consistency is a very bad thing to have as a sports bettor. You need to be able to change your story. You need to be able to reevaluate. Maybe you didn't like the Milwaukee baseball team before the season started, by example. Well, everything's changed. The pitching is great. They're playing great ball. And you want to be very bullish on Milwaukee right now, even if you were bearish earlier in the year.
Absolutely. Change is inevitable, and we have to adjust. Do you want to talk about anything specific about this 3-day event that people would be getting when they join up and come to the event?
Yeah, so I'm going to pull back the curtain on specific spots, live wagering. Live wagering is getting more and more popular. And so often I hear, and people do a good job, talking about the basics of live wagering, but I hear things like, oh, in the NBA, for instance, when a team gets up 15, bet on the other guys. And, in terms of a good general principle, I don't disagree with that. But, the level of things that you really should be tracking to be a world-class live bettor, there's some basic things that you really should be aware of. Like when you watch college basketball, I'll mention this. I love tracking the fouls. And as soon as, especially the first half, as soon as both teams go into the bonus, maybe you're watching a Dayton DePaul game, Jim, and nobody can score and it's just ugly. As soon as they get into that bonus, the scoring rate just spikes through the roof. So if both teams are about to, get into that bonus and the double bonus, it's time to consider over or pass. Possession arrow. No one pays any attention to that. It's actually worth half a point to have the possession arrow. So if you're making a first half bet, you probably want the team that has the possession arrow. Just another little thing that's going to help you win your bet that most don't pay attention to.
So listening to you say that, it's obvious that you have a value that in your mind that you put on every little thing that's going on. Now, I'm a little older than you, but we've both been around a long time. today there's so many youthful players that are focused on betting props as opposed to betting sides or totals, which I grew up just betting sides. And then later on, totals came into the picture. And now we get all these propositions. This guy over strikeouts, this guy over how many outs he's going to get. Will they bat in the bottom of the ninth inning in baseball? Are you into that as much as the people, the youthful players are, or are you focused on other things?
I'm into it, not nearly enough, because you identified it. That is the greatest area to target. If you're betting 500, 300, 800 a game, you know what? Don't try to beat the NFL sides on Sunday. Look to play props and take advantage of that. I'll give something to look that people should look for during each and every day of the MLB. Jim, I'll make the case, if you're a really good meteorologist, you will kill baseball betting props. Because if you can forecast when a baseball game is going to go into a long rain delay in the fourth inning, you have a license to steal. Why? Because you should bet the starting pitchers under, across the board, for outs, for strikeouts, etc., for hits. Because if a pitcher pitches 3.5 innings and then the rain delay comes and it's a 90-minute rain delay, that might be the end of him. And he's going to go under across the board. So just, I'll be discussing things like that in the seminar. You don't even have to be able to name a player. You can just say, hey, Cincinnati, is playing Washington and it's going to rain. I like both pitchers under. You don't need to know that it's Abbott or anyone else that's pitching.
Excellent. Is this seminar a live event or are you streaming it?
It is only in person. There will be no videotaping. And part of that is that there's things that are going to be discussed that, frankly, I don't want it to be readily available out there. So you do have to attend in person. And we start 1 week from Friday, August 1st, 2 p.m. Be in downtown Las Vegas. We're going to go 5 hours. We're going to go all day Saturday. And I'm giving my personal guarantee. You show up for the first hour or two, you come there. Let's say it's not for you. And by the way, if you're betting less than $100 a game, let's say you are not a serious bettor, it's not for you. Don't attend. This is for a higher level audience to help someone that's already betting get to a next level, help someone who's breaking even to be able to win, help someone who's winning be able to win more. But if you attend and for whatever reason, you know what, it's not for you, I'll shake hands. I'll refund your money minus a small processing fee, and you can be on your way. I am that confident that you will, take away immediately, wow, I'm really picking up stuff that's going to help me make so much money. And heck, I want to show you how to get a free vacation to the Bahamas for everybody while you're there as well.
Have you done these events before?
Yes. Kevin O'Neill and I, and Kevin used to be in the Stardust Invitational. Jim, you've been in that. I've been in it. And Kevin and I, for a while, we were the only two guys that ever went 7-0 in that contest at the Stardust. So we did 2 of these, very successful. They were right around like the early 2010, 2011 years. And, we got away from it a little bit. And frankly, it was so lucrative betting sports that I just didn't have time. And now with the legalization of sports throughout all the states, we talked to each other. We said, everything has changed. And frankly, the success of Bet Bash, reminded me of there's really a market. People really want to find out. And I love Bet Bash. I love Spanky. I would recommend that. That's later on in August here in Vegas. But that's a very social thing. It's a great way to interact and meet with people. This is much more a boot camp. I'm a little hardcore. I'm like that sergeant. I'll try not to yell at anyone in terms of how to win and get the best price. Yes.
Well, you know how to win. Everybody in Vegas knows who you are, and a lot of people outside of Vegas. If you're out there and this podcast and we're on a lot of platforms, and if you're in Texas or if you're in New York, call your airport, get yourself a ticket to Vegas right now, and make sure you get a room, because I don't know how booked up the rooms are in Vegas right now at this time of year. Probably not. It's too damn hot. But right now, this will be a hot event. You want to come and join it. You want to learn something. You want to win some more money, increase your profits, and have more fun. This is an event. VegasBettingEvent.com. I think you need to go there, check it out, read about it. Read about Steve. Go to Google and read about him. He's been around. He's won a lot of money. A lot of people I don't think want to take his action really, but Steve, you've been great. I appreciate you doing this. I hope it helps get the word out. If there's anything you want to cover before we sign off.
Just a big thank you to Circus Sports. They've always been very gracious taking my action in Vegas. And Caesars wasn't letting me bet for a while. Now they're letting me bet. The Win Sports lets me bet. All the other books, not so much. So I just wanted to, pass along that I really like those 3 books because they still go ahead and let me gamble with them.
People don't realize that if you win too much, they cut you off. People don't. Someday we have to do a podcast on that part, and that's a tough part. Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jim. It's an honor. And hey, if you can't make it this summer, I'm confident we're going to have it next summer. So I will give everyone much more lead time and the like. And by the way, Vegas is having a recession right now, having trouble getting people in. You should get some last minute better deals on some rooms.
Right. Thanks, everybody. Join in. Make sure you check out our YouTube station, which is Proline TV, which this will be on. JimFeist.com. It'll be on. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on Instagram. It's everywhere. I mean, it's already out there, but we're doing this one. This is a special interview. We already put out like a 1 or 2 minute piece earlier, but this is longer and a little bit more in depth. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you so much, Jim. And hey, I'll see you at Dom DeMarco's. I'm committing. I'll be there all year long.
Okay.